Hello and welcome to the Mythologue episode 7. Thank you so much for joining us. We are the Mythologue, where a cast of lore makers whips you up a fresh and unrehearsed batch of lore every other Monday night. We have taken a brief hiatus to make sure that all of our ducks and bees and bears were in a row. And now, following hiatus, we're going to go ahead and proceed every other week. So we will not be live next Monday, but the following Monday and alternating Mondays thereafter. Please hit us up with any questions that you have by liking our Facebook page or joining our Patreon. Patreon.com/themythologue. We've started posting bonus content on our Patreon, including recaps of previous episodes. So beginning there, you can enjoy member-only content on Patreon. In Dungeons and Dragons, a game master narrates a story, and the players create the action by existing and making decisions as their characters in the story. And when the fates must have their say, there's always the dice. So last time we were together, our party was in some pretty dire straits once again, having made their way through the Feywild and deep into a Fey forest, beset by emotional upheaval as well as dangerous bees, and needing to find a gift for the Bear King, having gone through a really unlucky hunt that did not go particularly well. Our group arrived at the lair of the Bear King, the Summer Crag, and entered through a secret door into the Bear King's own cave. Having brought a gift and coming with charm and utter dedication to the Bear King's greatness, our party was able to ingratiate themselves immediately with Leopold, King of the Bears. He has notified the group that they will probably be eaten, but that there's no hard feelings there, that they should enjoy eating and drinking and making merry, and ultimately deals and games. So our group has spent a nice evening trying the food, Kian vomiting in the corner, looking around and trying to see what y'all could see. They discovered that the Bear King's wife and son were not super thrilled and seemed to tire of his drunken revelry. It seems like this is something that goes on night after night, and that it's not really their jam, but the Bear King is definitely entertaining his guests in uproarious fashion. So uproarious, in fact, that the energy of the room begins to build. In part of the lair, there's a fighting ring where bears are fighting with each other. There seems to be a pit with some electrical energy coming out of it that has been announced that those are the Bear King's eels. There's a cook pot that isn't for actually cooking, but just for the entertainment of watching their victims dance around in the heat of the cook pot. These are a very, very brutal clan of bears. So being hosted at a celebratory party by a brutal clan of bears has definitely had its terrifying moments, but also it's really exciting and entertaining ones. For example, Flame hopped up on stage and managed to shred everyone's faces with a phenomenal solo, sort of in the vein of, Back to the Future, Johnny B. Good style. He definitely brought down the roof of the bear cave, not literally, but metaphorically, and continues to jam out with the the Jamboree band up on the stage, definitely keeping the room at the height of entertainment along with the fights. And finally, just as it seems like this energy is reaching a fever pitch, Leopold stops everything and he says, hold, hold, announce, it is time for games. All you have to do is to complete my obstacle course. I do it all the time, it's easy. You'll start by scaling this cliff. It is only just these many feet high. Should have no problem, and then you break no rules and you all get through the obstacle course and you'll go out my portal into your stupid material plane. If you do not, though, if you do not make it all the way through, then we will eat you and it will be fun for us. And if anything in between sort of happens, which sometimes happens, then we will talk about it. But I at least get to keep your little girl, Astara, I think her name is. She's going to make me immortal with her forehead kiss, like in the story. So it will now be time for games. And this disembodied voice that seems to be connected to a bear that you have never seen before in this room, but it's like a light comes up and you see it in the corner, holding a couple of strange objects and moving with sort of a mechanical gracelessness. You hear, you contestants in the game, step right up, come on down. And I have created a little mock-up of the bear cave for you all. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that now. Hopefully it focuses a little better. Yeah. So the things that you have noticed, I'm just going to give you a small tour with what we have here. And then I think on the break, I'll be able to run some slides of close-ups. In the meantime, though, I'll say you all have noticed this cage here that's hanging, and this is where Astara is. And then you've got the bear band over here with Flame on stage. And then Kian sort of hanging back. Bears having revelry and good times. And then Wex and Epiphany and Finnick and Feely all up here addressing the Bear King, the Bear Queen Mathilda, and her friend Chrysoli, who had shown you all around previously. So this bear is the strange one who seems to be talking and saying, it is time for games, so come on down. And the Bear King says, Leopold has decided I will be drinking and my bear golem will be announcing. It will be the rules. I don't even know them. Nothing kind of. For the first game, you will scale the cliff and there are no restrictions. And so, everyone, it's time to begin by scaling the cliff. You are shown to this part way back here, where you have to sort of make your way back amongst these gargantuan bears. You wend your way through these terrifying, huge bears as they're just having a great time, and back into the corner where you're expected to scale a 20-foot cliff. And if everyone could go ahead and take off your mute so that when you speak and react and stuff like that, it shows you in our rotating faces speaker view thing. So does everyone understand what's going to be happening now? Oh, can I get voices?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Can we ask some questions? Do we know how many rounds there are going to be of this sort of thing?
Is it okay to cast like one spell and not three spells or something like that?
There will be no more questions. You will be given all instructions. First, each member must scale the cliff. So, making your way back into the corner where you are required to scale the cliff. It is a 20-foot cliff, and you all are welcome to go ahead and determine how you're going to go about it. But bear in mind, you are surrounded. These are the Bear King's guards. They are absolutely terrifying, stone-faced bears. So here you are lined up amongst them. And you have a couple minutes to determine how you're going to make your way, how you're going to get everyone up that 20-foot cliff. It's pretty sheer. As you look up, it looks like it could be climbable. Anybody that has another way, feel free. What are y'all going to do? Feely, you kind of were led there first as being on that end of the line of y'all.
Epiphany is definitely willing to attempt to climb it and then sort of drop her rope and provide a top rope for other people.
Well, Finnick would go ahead and step up and just pull. I have a grappling hook, so he'll pull that out attached to the rope. I'm like, well, I mean, this should be relatively easy to start, right? And yeah, fling it up there.
All right, are you going to climb together, or are you? Oh, you're going to put your grappling hook on Epiphany's rope and let Epiphany climb up, and then throw down the top rope for everyone.
I was just going to try and throw it up there.
Is there nothing the grappling hook can catch on?
Okay. All right, you can go ahead and if there's Kian. Are you gonna go ahead? Are you gonna step up and ask that question, or?
No, I'm looking. I'm not. Yeah, I'm just taking everything in. I'm not.
Alrighty. So go ahead and Kian, you can roll. Oh, sorry, Kian. I didn't mean to interrupt you. What?
Oh, Kian's just not interested in telling other people what to do right now. He's just looking around.
Sure. Okay, cool. Then you can go ahead and roll a perception check. While Finnick, you can go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll the hit. Make a like an unarmed ranged attack. So we'll call it an add your dexterity modifier, but not proficiency.
So what am I rolling?
Dex.
You're gonna roll a d20 plus your dex.
Okay, gotcha. So unclean. So 16 plus 4.
Nice.
30. Go through. All right. So your grappling hook lodges easily at the top of the cliff. You jerk down on it a couple of times and it seems like it's all right. Go ahead and make an athletics check to climb up the wall.
Oh, Finnick probably would step back like, would you like to go first?
Oh, Epiphany will happily and enthusiastically go first.
All right. Epiphany, go ahead and make an athletics check then. You can make it with advantage to, because that grappling hook is up.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. That's a 17.
All right, you make it up easily. And find yourself up at the top of the cliff in front of this strange clockwork bear.
Oh, well, that's a bit creepy. I think I know yelling down the cliff. I think I know where the sound is coming from, maybe. Come on up, guys.
Okay, after me, who's going to go next?
Finnick will just hold the rope at the bottom just to help secure it and just let everyone else go.
All right, who's next? Who steps up?
I can try, but if one of you guys could just like throw me up there, that would be a lot easier.
I could maybe lift you onto my shoulders and let you climb from there, but I'm not throwing you.
Okay.
Just
Just
grab
trying.
the rope, Wax. I'll help you up. Come on, you can do it.
All right, Wex, go ahead and
14?
make an athletics check with advantage.
Oh shit, nice. No,
That's
14 still.
14, okay. Wex, you start to make your way up, and as you get your boost from Feely, and Epiphany helps you, but then as you're transitioning up onto the rope from Feely's shoulder, you just sort of lose your grip, and you're gonna fall about only 10 feet. It's not too terrible. You're just going to take 1 point of bludgeoning damage from falling. And you can try again.
This is really, really hard. That time it was 12. -2 is not going to be helpful in this endeavor for me.
Okay.
Rex is small, right?
Wex,
Yeah,
why don't
Wex
you
is
just
quite
tie the rope around yourself and I'll pull you up?
Okay, we can try that. And I'll just like tie it around my legs and my waist, fashion a little harness. Give the
Okay,
rope
all
a
right. So,
shove.
as an artificer, I'm not going to make you roll for China. You can go ahead and, but Epiphany, I'll have you make a strength check to pull him up.
$16.
Okay, you do. It's a bit of a struggle and a fight. You break a sweat for sure. Wex has a hard time getting just on the cliff face with his feet to try to like make his way up, and so he's almost a little bit of dead weight, and he's carrying a lot of stuff. It's all obviously packed densely into his pockets and whatnot, but damn, he is heavier than he looks.
Goodness,
only help.
Wex. How many trinkets do you have in your pockets?
They're not really trinkets. This is only like half of it. I don't even have all my stuff. Most of it's back in the cart.
Thank goodness for that. Come on, buddy. Come on up.
Thank goodness. I have so many helpful things. This all could have been so much easier.
Not
Oh, yeah, and
for
we'd be
me,
hauling a
right?
donkey
Next
up.
time.
Excellent.
Have Gertrude.
Wex, as you get to the top of the cliff, you see this giant clockwork there, and you hear the voice come out again. The mouth doesn't move, and it says, 2 contestants have arrived at the top of the cliff, but now it become harder. Each individual must ascend the cliff alone now. You see that it's moving through some kind of clockwork mechanisms inside. You can hear, it sounds rusty and clunky in there, Wex. But also somehow it seems to also be paying attention.
Well,
This is
Wex,
the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
And I like take out my notebook and I'm going to stop caring about the competition and just focus on this thing for a little while.
I suppose if we need some bartering later in the games, maybe you can offer to fix these. They look like they need a little bit of work.
Fix them. How about we take them?
Let's maybe just focus
Okay,
on the
so
task at hand.
task at hand. So as Wex and Epiphany are considering the possibilities of what to do about the clockwork, we still have Feely, Kian, and Finnick at the bottom, and now the grappling hook and rope are at the top, and there's no helping. What are y'all doing?
Okay, Bree,
You hear the disembodied there. What? I'm sorry, Kian?
can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So to repeat, I'm sorry, I'm just having trouble audio processing tonight. Did you say that we
Oh.
cannot aid each other at all in climbing, or just that we can't use the rope?
I'm sorry, did I mistake what it had said? I thought it had said no more helping, each one must ascend the cliff alone.
Okay, that makes sense.
But the rope that you have,
Thank you.
the rope that you have been using is now at the top of the cliff with Wex and Epiphany, or the rope that everyone was using. So now the three of you are down at the bottom with whatever you have,
We've still
or
got
four of you. Anyway, Feely, Kian, Finnick,
flame.
and Flame. Hey, Flame. So
Yes.
far, you've kind of been getting away with just still being playing music on stage with the band.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're? I mean, ultimately, you're gonna have to make it through the obstacle course, probably with everybody else, unless you're gonna try
Yeah.
and do
Well,
some sort of tomfoolery. So, are you?
I'll start making my way over there and
Okay.
get in line.
Are you still playing? You're just playing on the way over there?
Yeah, well, does the band pick back up? Because then the Bear King, wasn't he like, stop all the music?
Oh, yeah.
But now it's
Yeah,
like
the band picks back up.
playing like some tense like circus music or something.
Right.
Specific genre.
Yeah, something like that. It's a good band, so it has a band for this for sure.
Cool.
Yeah,
Man,
Finnick
I
will
wish
step
my
up.
camera was.
Yeah, Finnick will go next. Like, well, always another way. And he'll pull out the pittons and hammer from his Dungeoneer's pack and start hammering him in. And he's like, I'm not helping anybody. I'm just, they'll be left behind when I get. And he'll start hammering him in, trying to climb up that way.
Okay, roll a perception check really quick.
Seven.
Okay, and then go ahead and I'll have you roll. First, roll a dexterity check to hammer the pythons.
13.
it's a struggle for you. You start, the first one goes okay, but it doesn't feel quite sturdy enough. And so you remove it, you put it in a different place in the wall. You can start to feel eyes on your back as you're kind of doing this. You get one in, anchored and secured. Make an athletics check.
$13.
All right. It's a struggle, but you make your way. One after another, slowly but surely, you pound in these pythons, and you put in about 4 of them as you're making your way up. Just something that you grab onto. There are little, smooth cracks in the rock face. Make another athletics check for me, as it takes you quite a while with those 13s.
11.
Oh, unfortunately, as you begin to reach the top, that last little push push over the top edge of the cliff, you lose it and you take a tumble. Make a dexterity saving throw. See if you can grab one of your pythons that you clunked into the wall.
It's 11.
Oh no, you flail for it, grasping, reaching, but unfortunately, no matter what, your feet can't gain purchase, your hands slip off the pythons and you come crashing to the ground, taking 3 points of bludgeoning damage from the fall. You now have your pythons hammered in though, so you can go ahead and try again. As you do stand up though, y'all can hear this weird ass clock there up top. It starts to go tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock.
This thing is fucking amazing. How did they make this? How did these bears do this?
Nick, are you okay?
Yeah, this just isn't really my bag. I'll be up there in a second. Yeah, I guess I'll dust myself off and try again.
And I think as soon as Feely would hear the tick-tocking, would say, well, I'll just be seeing you up there, and use their face step thing and just teleport the 30 feet up to, or 20 feet up to the top of the cliff.
Oh man, just gonna use that right away, huh?
Oh yeah, before any restriction comes along that I can't use magic or some shit.
Oh, that's fair.
Hard.
Looks like Bree's gone for a second, so now y'all can see all of our lovely faces at once. Yeah.
Well, I guess since she isn't here, Finnick probably would mention to somebody that like I tried to get a read on that portal, by the way, and nothing comes back. So for all we know, it could drop us 40 feet over some endless ocean somewhere in another dimension. I think it's best we don't just send anybody through it without figuring it out.
We could attach a rope to someone and then like have them jump through and then pull them back.
Be fun. I'm not the best at tying ropes, but I am pretty good at jumping.
I'm good at ropes. Don't worry about that.
Okay. I guess we're having this like up the cliff face, and some of them are up and some of us are down, but surely the bears don't mind our optimism.
So yeah, I'm trying to say that quietly, just to whoever's around.
Okay.
Touché.
So, who's still at the bottom? Just Fennec, Flame, and Kian?
Yeah.
Man, I was so ready to just like shove a bunch of people into Wexlarn's bag, but I actually don't know how that
Oh,
works.
yeah.
And now we're not allowed to help with this challenge, so.
I think it holds 2 people. Well, it's like 400 pounds, and there's like size limitations. But if
Oh.
I'm one of the people, I basically don't count.
Ask Epiphany how heavy you are.
Much heavier than anyone would expect, I would say.
The beauty of it though
Girl.
is I would be in the pack too. So like all the shit that's on my persons would also be weightless.
That's
Yeah, that would be pretty rad. We should have talked about this before I drug your ass up the cliff.
Hey, Bree. We cannot hear you.
I hear you.
Strange. Did the audio connect?
It says it did, so
Touche.
one of life's mysteries.
The pythons were a good idea. I totally forgot those were even a thing.
Yeah.
Totally
I always
didn't
end
know.
up with like I always end up with an explorer's pack or something else, so I like never have them with me.
When I play Wizards, I always take the Scholars pack, and everyone's like, "Oh no, we need rope," and I'm like, "I have ink."
Yeah. There's also like how often is a wizard using a rope?
Right.
Or
I guess
it's
it
like
depends.
in a party of 6, how often do you need all 6 ropes?
Right. We're going to scale a 200-foot space. We're going to tie all of our hempen ropes together. Someday.
That someday will be terrifying.
Yeah. I guess kind of an in-game question for Fennec. Are you gonna want your stick things back when we get up the cliff? Do you want me to try to pull them out after you climb up?
I mean, if it's not too much trouble, and I don't know if anyone else can use them or not. I'm really not sure about these rules. And they said no more questions.
Yeah, that's an interesting rule right there. No questions. Seems like bound to have some, but we'll do our best, right?
Can we ask each other questions? Is that he really didn't specify?
Maybe we just phrase everything like it's a statement.
Yeah, like if you were to ask a question, you might get in trouble, possibly.
That could be.
It sucks. I have so many questions.
I feel like
Wex
my
not
mom
gonna have
used to
any-
get that way at a certain point too. She told me no more questions a bunch when I was growing up.
Oh no, no sound still.
You're so quiet, but I can hear you, Bree. You're just very, very quiet.
I can't.
I heard her say
That might have
now.
been Brian's mic.
Well, do you want to exit the chat and come back on? Like, leave the Zoom?
Okay. So it sounds like now might be a good time for a short intermission. So we're gonna take a tech break and hopefully be back in 10 minutes. That work for everybody? Okay. Thanks for hanging with us, viewers at home.
Hello and welcome back to the Mythologue. We have returned from technical difficulties in the hopes that we have everything fixed. How's my sound?
Sounds good.
Awesome. As much as possible, I would love to have everyone off of mute in the session. It ends up being really quiet when everyone's on mute and there's not enough reacting. So, awesome. I think I've got everything fixed now. And so while everyone couldn't hear me, what I was trying to say was that Finnick now has the pythons in the wall. Awesome job. Glad you installed those. Got hurt, fell off. Wex getting extra excited about the clockwork bear. Last thing I heard was Wex wanted to steal it. I mean, that wasn't the last thing I heard, but that was the last thing I heard about Wex and the bear. The last thing I heard was that Feely was about to do Fey Step. Can we start from there?
Yeah, Feely had just said, oh, well, I guess I'll be seeing you up there. And Faye stepped away in a swirl of petals up the 20 feet of the cliffside.
Easy peasy. Oh, I have to put the screen share back on. Do. Bear cave.
Oh.
It's lit.
It's lit. It's more lit up than I really want it to be, I think, actually. I'm gonna try turning that down a bit. Ooh, that turns it down a lot. Okay, and Flame and Finnick. You still have to get up.
Yes.
And Kian.
And Kian. He's not fancy like Feely is.
No one's fancy like Feely is.
So true. That is an extra special brand of fancy.
All right. Well, I think Flame will kind of wait until everyone else goes and give each person guidance as they go, which I remember that I have. So I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure Finnick would have liked that a few minutes ago, but. Hey, I see you're having some trouble there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so Flame throws guidance little onto Finnick, and that gives you an extra D4 to an ability check.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
All right. Awesome. So go ahead, Finnick, you can make that athletics check again. Add a D4 to it. We'll see how you do.
Remember what a D4 is real quick.
The one you don't want to sit on.
God damn.
Oh
That's
no. You roll the D4 as your athletics check?
No. No.
Got
Would have
it.
been nice. No, it would have been nice if that would not. No. So that's a 6.
6 total.
Okay, fighting your way up, Finnick is really struggling with this. He's kind of a pasty lad. He just doesn't, this kind of athletic endeavor is not anything that he's used to doing. He doesn't know how to climb. And it shows at the moment. And so, continuing to sort of try to gain purchase, you can go ahead and attempt to pound in a couple more pythons if you want to. You definitely have more than 4, and you did just make your way up like most of the way to the top. There was just a little shelf there, so you can do it. Give me a dex check if you want to put in a couple more.
Finnick will kind of collect himself, like, all right, come on, Finnick, come on. You do this. It's supposed to be a ranger. 18 on dexterity.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, standing on one of your pythons, you reach up and you manage to pound one in a super good spot to get an extra handhold or foothold on your way up. You've climbed up and down this thing now so many times, just like gotten up to this point where it's stymied you, and so you managed to get another hold in where possibly it might be able to help you try it one more time. Go ahead and give us that athletics check again. Guidance is a timed thing or it's a one-off?
It's up to one, yeah, but it's concentration 1 minute.
Do it again. It's a cantrip.
Yeah, I could do it again.
Cool.
But I have to touch him though.
Okay.
So I'd have to wait till
How
he's
long
back.
is your tail?
Not that long.
Let's look at it.
Of like an ET moment.
Finnick is
Just climb halfway up, touch him, and then climb back down as a flex on the rest of us.
That would be dope.
Up the wall. Flame, you'd have to jump just a little bit to touch it, but not much. I think you got it.
All right, I'll try it.
All right. So, giving him guidance again. Finnick, go ahead and roll that athletics check one more time, buddy.
Big money, big money, big money. No whammies.
17.
Nice.
Sweet. All right. This time, using your new hold that you pounded in, you ascend easily. You get to the top, and it's like, it's a little emotional, honestly. Like, you get up to the top, and you're like busting a sweat. You got like your goggles are hanging a little bit off of your face. You're just feeling very vulnerable. But you make it. You make it up to the top, leaving Kian and Flame down at the bottom. Flame, you're used to climbing, but this is a pretty, this is a pretty sheer rock face. However, those pythons remain. So let me think
if
about it.
I want
for
to
a
risk using the pythons.
If you're okay with it, I'll go first. It seems like you kind of got more experience at climbing than me, and I want someone who can slap me on the back if I do fall down, get me back.
Yes, after you.
Thanks, friend.
You got this. Slap on the back.
Slap of guidance. Whack. All right. A little couple of claws. You're like, hey, go. Okay. All right. And all right. So go ahead and roll that athletics check and do it with your guidance.
Okay. Oh, wow. I rolled higher on my D4 than I did on my D20, which I think is all you need to know, Bree.
Okay. And you start ascending, and you actually do it pretty confidently. You get a little ways up, and then you fall pretty dramatically. But again, only from about 10 feet. So you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage this time from that 10-foot fall, and you're welcome to try again. Flame, you watch Kian just thunk, flat back on his backpack, stunk like a sack of rice on the ground in front of you.
Oh, Flame will run over and, are you okay?
Yeah. Did I look cool while I was doing that?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
You got
Okay.
this. You got
I'm
this.
gonna try again. Yeah.
All right, guidance got this.
The whammies. Oh, hell yeah. Okay. 24.
Woohoo!
Okay, embarrassed by your fall and hardened with new resolve, you just scamper straight up the wall, Kian, and you got it. And I'm gonna say, Flame, with the pythons in there, you have don't tabaxi have a climbing speed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't have to make a roll. You can just ascend.
Woo.
As you reach the top, this clockwork bear behind you goes, "Da-da-dang, da-da-dang."
Was that a good sound?
Gotta hope so.
I don't think these things make good sounds.
All right, well, was it a less bad sound?
Maybe we won. Let's go get Astara.
Does the Bear King seem to be reacting to this?
That's a better question.
Oh, is Brian frozen?
Oh,
Oh no.
Brian frozen?
Uh-oh, they're gone.
Oh man, I just got a notification that I'm the host now, and this is far too much responsibility. Okay, well, it looks like we won D&D by,
Technical difficulty.
yeah, that we
Okay.
were the first people in history to win D&D, but here we are. Now that I'm the host, I guess I'm the DM too, so everyone roll your first death save as you fall into the lava. No?
Finally.
Oh no,
One
did
to
Lindsay
two
actually roll?
forward.
16.
You're okay
Oh, is that a
this time.
D20? Is that what do you roll for a death save?
Yeah, it's just a D20, and I think 10 or higher, you succeed, but 9 or lower, you fail. And if you get 3 failures, you die. But if you get a 20, you automatically survive.
Well, good news. Bree is now the host and the DM. So those death saves don't count.
I tried to
Just
tell
claim
I
it.
rolled a
Nine.
2.
Flame should get 9, right?
Bree, while
Can
you're
everyone hear
gone. Yes, yes.
Oh my god, okay, that's
So I
good.
made them roll death
The last
saves.
time I got knocked off, everything reset itself and you couldn't hear me. So this time it didn't do that. So that's a bonus.
Yeah.
Yay, something went right.
Woo!
What did we talk about while I was gone?
We made death saving rolls.
I
Death
rolled a 2.
save.
Just in case.
Is anyone dead? Besides me, I'm dead. Has anyone else died?
No,
Mine
I
got
think
it
no.
too.
Your internet is not doing so well on the death saves, I don't think.
No, it's not. Very many things about my situation are doing poorly on their death saves. That's
no.
okay. It's gonna be all right. There's Brian.
So, I think right as you were disconnecting, I was asking if the Bear King reacted to us passing the first obstacle, or
Yeah, the Bear King reacted with disappointment. He wanted more failure.
And falling flat on his back wasn't good enough for the Bear King.
He did laugh and he liked it, but it wasn't good enough. He didn't want everyone to get up. And yeah, waving at Finnick, he says, I thought that one wasn't gonna get up at all. At this point, the clockwork bear turns and you begin to see him gesture toward the next obstacle. Your next challenge is the Chasm of Doom. And gesturing across, you are shown this. It is only about 12 feet across. As you're all taking a look at it, the thing continues. The restriction for this challenge is no whereabouts?
I told you. I knew magic was going to be taken away.
I was kind of hoping that challenges was like an exaggeration and there was just going to be one, you know?
Oh, bummer. So you are all lined up at the back of the cliff face. Oh, I really need a better camera. Support our Patreon, y'all, so that we can see our miniatures better and stay on the internet for the whole session. My favorite part right now, you guys, if I can just call attention to the eyeball fruit on the table.
Oh, nice.
That is a gruesome ass giant eyeball, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a really good touch, Brie.
I like it a lot.
I like the portal there too. That's pretty cool.
Okay, at this point also the Bear King speaks up and he says, I am bored and I wish for things to progress with more fear and failure, and I want high stress, so everyone roll initiative.
Okay. Oh, man.
Roll what?
Initiative.
Kian
So
was ready to try to just yeet Wex, so here
Does
we go.
not mean that we're going into combat, but it does mean is that this is how we'll organize actions, whether you're cooperating or not. You'll be doing things on turns now to get across the chasm. I might light this up just a little bit better for this moment. All right. So what do we have for initiatives? Any 25s to 20s?
Keely, I got an unclean 20.
Ooh.
Like, Bennett got a 22. Are you there?
Kian got a 22? Who did?
No,
I did. Finnick.
sorry. Yeah, I'll let Mara speak.
Great job. That's awesome. My pen just ran out while I was writing. Today's working out real well.
Machines.
Everything I touch is behaving perfectly. Okay. New writing utensil. Just gonna give y'all a play-by-play of everything that's going wrong. That might be more entertaining, to be honest. All right. So we've got Finnick with a 22, Feely with a dirty 20, and
Epiphany, 19.
Epiphany 19.
Kian, 16 with a dexterity of 14.
Tied.
Ty?
Same, yeah.
Oh.
Unison turn.
Wait, so Wix, you're tied with Kian on both your roll and your parent dex score?
Yes.
What does it go to then?
A
Passive
roll?
perception or something?
Oh.
It's
I don't know if it is. It just made sense.
Want to? Yeah.
Whoever has the most gold.
I usually just make people roll another d20 straight, and whichever one's
yeah.
high.
We'll just have you roll a d20 straight.
2. Beat it. I dare you.
I got a 5.
Oh shit.
Nice. All right, Kian and then Wex.
The best 5 I've ever gotten.
Get those shitty rolls out of the way now.
Yeah, truly.
Right now. Okay. And Flame?
13.
Finnick, action begins with you.
God damn.
Do the rules reset every time a new challenge starts?
Okay. There are no questions. That will be a penalty. Oh, penalty. I love penalty. Penalty means you, my friend, have extra restriction now. What should it be? How about this? You get across. You have to get across with one hand in your pocket and no spell.
Oh, all right. Thanks for the clarification, I guess. Sounds like they don't want us to even be trying to follow the rules, fellas. So, good luck.
King has spoken.
Okay, thank you, Your Greatness.
And Finnick, top of the round.
All right, so I just have to jump this. Well, I'm asking you. I'm looking at a chasm.
You're
And it seems
looking
like-
at a chasm that's 12 feet across.
Clarifying, I'm asking the DM, not the bear.
Yeah.
King.
I'm asking the bear in the tracksuit. I'm asking Bree, the
The
human.
advantage of a character voice.
I do this. It's Finnick.
Okay, so you're looking at a chasm that is about 12 feet across, and it is sheer rock straight down, and it goes down below the level of the cave floor. So it plummets about 35 feet from where you stand. The only restriction for you is you're not allowed to use spells. No one has said that you can't cooperate on this particular obstacle. It hasn't necessarily been made clear whether the restrictions remain from previous obstacles or not.
Right. Okay, well, Finnick will go ahead and he'll get his grappling hook. I'm seeing things along the side of the cave wall there. Are those actual, that's a protrusion I can see?
Yep, that's a protrusion. You can see it's a torch attached to the cave wall with flame coming out of it.
Attached to it, it's not actually a part of it.
Right, it seems to be attached to the cave wall. It's wood, bolted maybe.
Okay. Well, yeah, Finnick would turn to everyone else like, I don't really know if the rules from before apply, and I don't want a penalty. There's no way I'm doing this with my hands in my pocket. So he'll throw the grappling hook, try and wrap it around that torch
This one here.
on the other end. The one across, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead and roll, a dexterity check. That's what I had to roll last time. I made it sound really complicated, but that's really what it was. Yeah.
That's a 5.
Oh, okay. It clunks off. You don't lose it. You're still holding your rope with the grappling hook on the end, but you didn't make it that time.
Yeah, he'll turn to everyone. Feel free to judge me entirely on my performance. And he'll try again.
Lambo goes, I like watching this one.
I'm glad
Well,
you
like,
tried
I'm gonna
this.
do any better. That's fucking hard.
What you got, Finnick?
Hearing Wex swear kind of makes my whole day. It's actually pretty great.
That's a 6.
Okay, clunks off again.
One more time.
You still don't lose it.
Epiphany will whisper, "You can do it, Finnick."
I don't think I can.
Okay, blessing.
I would actually maybe turn to flame. Like, any chance I could get one of those?
That just said no magic.
Oh, right.
Don't be tricking him
Okay.
into that.
I guess I can't do.
Yes, break the rule. Break it.
Okay, that's a natural 20.
Woo!
Oh shit. Okay, there it is.
Dang.
I want to Indiana Jones across that thing with a hand in my pocket.
All right, you get so pissed, you just chuck it. It wraps itself quick right around that, right around this torch right here and anchors easily. You look over your shoulder straight at Leopold, who's laughing at you. You stick a hand in your pocket and just leap across. There's a centrifugal force to kind of arc out over the chasm and almost over the bears as you come flying around. Whoops, that's not how it goes. Flying around like so and land deftly on the other side. Your grappling hook is still anchored to the torch.
Okay.
With your nat 20, you can unanchor it if you want to, or you can attempt with advantage to throw it back to one of your companions.
Epiphany will say, "I knew he could do it."
Yeah, he really does seem to doubt himself a little more than he deserves.
For sure. I mean, it's not like he's been practicing for the last 2 weeks or anything either. Like, he just pulled a grappling hook out of his backpack and tried it dry.
Comment definitely makes me think he was practicing it very seriously for about 2 weeks.
I was on watch with him and I never saw him doing that, but the way that you said that makes me think I just missed something.
I'll say there's a good chance people saw Finnick like pathetically trying to like throw a grappling hook over a tree limb here and there. That probably happened. Yeah, he'll call out to everybody. I'm not sure if this is allowed or not, but it's here, and he will throw the rope back over to the other side. Like, I'll leave it up to you guys.
Thanks, buddy.
I'll grab the other end and just like tie a quick bow line around one of the torches near us.
Ooh.
Okay, Wex, you come forward. Catch make a dexterity saving throw to catch that rope.
You mean to get hit by it?
What'd you get?
It was I got a 6. I probably did get hit by it.
You neither caught it nor did you get hit by it. But yeah, unfortunately, you didn't grab it. It's now hanging down here from this torch. Finnick, you could grab it and try again if you wanted.
Just try and throw it.
Yeah, if you wanted to. You can reach it.
Okay. Dex.
Uh-huh.
No. It's a 6 too.
Leopold starts laughing again, and you hear that clockwork bear start to go tick tock, Tick tock, tick tock, tick.
Well,
Sorry, I
I
tried.
think it might be for the best that it's on that side. I don't think I could properly hoist myself across, like climbing, but I might be able to leap and catch the thing, and it's worth a shot.
Well, would you mind trying it with this backpack on?
I would mind, yeah. Seems a
Okay.
little heavy.
The backpack doesn't weigh hardly anything.
I think technically the backpack weighs 15 pounds. I suppose that's not that much.
Well, the problem is I have a backpack, and I wouldn't want to trade with you because I don't think you could.
You could just put your backpack inside of mine, and then it'll be lighter.
Okay, well, in that case, yeah, sure, I'll take the backpack.
Sweet. I'm gonna jump in the backpack too.
Great.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna ask. I'm just gonna like, oop, her backpack's in, and then I hop in too.
Do we know how to get him back out? I had some trouble the first time. Okay, well, good luck.
As you do jump in, you realize that there is no air in there, and you don't have a way out. So, so I'll let you have taken a big breath, and
10 minutes.
or actually, what I'm
I
gonna do
have
is
10 minutes that I can live inside of it.
you got 10 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bag of holding.
All right. Cool.
If there were 2 people, it'd only be 5 minutes.
Nice. All right. Okay, so you know what you're doing. You jump in, you've got 10 minutes. Feely, with the backpack, tiny backpack, weighs 15 pounds.
Mhm.
You put it on, it is lighter than your normal one. What is your strength parent score?
So my strength is 11. So rules is written, if I run 10 feet, that is 1 foot shorter, just like automatically given to me, then I can make it.
Okay. All right, I'll let you make an athletics check to see if you can push past that.
Okay. 14.
Okay. With that 14, I will allow you to make a dexterity saving throw to grab a hold of that rope.
And that's why I was happy the rope was there. That is also 14.
Okay, you grab it. However, you grab it and slide down it a good little bit, and you kind of hit the side of the cliff wall. This is not graceful. It's extremely uncomfortable and awkward. You take a point of bludgeoning damage as you land against the side of the cliff wall, and you are going to have to make let's say a second athletics check to clamber your way up onto the other side.
11?
You're able to hold yourself in place without falling off, but you are not making you slip down below. You're kind of like, I'll show you. You've slipped down below the level, and you're having a really hard time of climbing your way up all the way. The rope keeps burning your hands, and you really kind of got the wind knocked out of you a little bit when you hit the cliff face. So you're not being able to pull yourself up on your own.
Hey, Finnick, I've sort of got your best friend here in my backpack. Do you mind collecting your rope here?
Yeah, on it. Yeah, Finnick would if he saw they were getting a little beaten up, he would try to pull.
Okay, all right. So grabbing a hold of the rope, I will let Feely do one final athletics check with advantage as you provide the help action.
Nat 20.
Oh my God.
Oh, good timing.
Yes.
Leaping up onto the side of the cliff. You still have a hold of the rope. and I will let you roll with advantage to throw it back if you would like to.
Sure. Wait, is that dexterity to throw it back?
Dexterity. Yep, that's a dex check to throw it back. It's a 15
Okay.
next.
13.
Then here. Wax. Okay.
I think I would try to, once I toss it, regardless of if it makes it or not, try and root Wex out from.
Oh, okay. Reaching into the backpack, just thinking I'm pulling Wax out. You do grab a hold of his arm, pull him out. It's no problem. With that, you said a 13 to throw the rope back. Epiphany, make a dexterity saving throw to catch that rope.
Okay. That's a 10.
You missed it, unfortunately, and you're back in the same situation now where the rope is dangling down from that torch on the far side.
Okay. At this point, Epiphany is going to address the Bear King, and she's going to say, "Your greatness, for your viewing pleasure, I'm going to attempt to run and dive roll across the chasm. May it bring you great joy whether I make it, but probably more if I fail."
Oh, yes. Now this is why I have guests come over. Thank you. Somebody knows how to play a game. This one, gesturing toward Feely. Bear King says, this one, I might just disqualify. Continue.
Okay, so she'll flip her braid back and take a couple steps back and run for the jump.
Okay, what is your strength parent score? We'll start there.
Strength is a 9.
Okay, great. I'm going to have you roll this as a performance check.
Performance?
Yep.
I have proficiency in athletics and also stealth. So I'm hoping that those things will help me do
I
that.
will allow you to make the roll as an athletics roll because that's what the roll would be. Go ahead and make the roll as an athletics roll.
Okay.
To be able to do a running jump. I will also have you make a performance check.
Okay, so my athletics is a 17. And my performance is a nat 20.
Oh,
Uh,
God.
Yeah.
shit.
Okay.
Fuck.
Running with your big tiefling smile, you kind of are like not even looking exactly where you're going. You got your eyes over your shoulder at the Bear King. You shoot him a little wink and a thumbs up as you
And
go.
put my hand in my pocket.
Stick your hand in your pocket, other hand straight forward as you dive, and then instead of a roll, somehow you manage to go straight into a one-handed cartwheel. Popping up, sticking the landing, hand still in the pocket, hip pops out. The Bear King erupts into a gale of laughter. And he says, "Oh, thank you for that."
And
Just,
she'll look at him and do her one-handed bow.
you are great. I think I will keep you too. Proceed.
Can I try and chuck the rope back?
You can. And you can, with your, since you got a nat 22, you're going to go ahead and, you're going to go ahead and roll that with advantage. Dex check with advantage.
So that's a 16.
with that 16, you won't have to do so much Wex on your dex save. Oh, wait,
I think it's Kian and Flame on this side. Yeah.
that's
Mhm.
great, Wex. You are done.
I hitched a ride.
And so Epiphany is over. Kian, the rope. Dex save to catch the rope. You don't have to. The DC won't be particularly high because Epiphany made a nice throw.
Okay, dex save. Dexterity save, unclean, as we're calling them, 20s.
Dirty.
Dirty 20.
Alrighty, yeah, no problem. You catch that rope, you now have it. What you gonna do?
So, Flame, do you, particularly want this rope? Would that be helpful for you?
I think I can make it without the rope.
Yeah, I mean, me too, honestly, but the whole one hand in the pocket sounds like a recipe for rope burn, so maybe I should just give it back to him, honestly. Yeah, I think I'll like take the rope and just try to like, well, I don't.
The bears are beginning to cheer ferociously. That heightened energy that you had been experiencing before. Once the king called the beginning of the games, the bears were able to settle down and focus a little bit for a little while, but now shit is getting escalated again. You're starting to hear roars and yelps and the sounds of bears kind of getting a little bit violent with each other in their excitement. Just so you know.
Okay, so Kian's going to like hold the rope and very dramatically lift it up and then just drop it out of his hand. Take both of his hands, put them in their pockets, and then back up about like 5-10 feet or whatever, and then just run and try to jump with both of his hands in his pockets.
Okay, I'm gonna have you roll your performance check first.
Okay.
Tiffany's on the other side going, yeah, you got this.
I got an 18 performance. I'm really wasting.
Oh shit! I'm gonna go ahead and take the disadvantage off your athletics check.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh god, I'm so nervous because.
Hands in your pocket. Run and jump, Kian. Flame backs up a little bit for you. You back up 10 feet. Hands in your pockets. Roll.
Okay. 12.
Oh, shit. I will let you make a dexterity saving throw to see if you can grab the other side of the cliff.
All right. That's cocked. Okay, dexterity saving throw. The fun one that means you're definitely in trouble. 19.
Yeah. Leaning to the side of the cliff. You're down a little ways. Scrabbling, grappling your way on the sheer cliffside. You're starting to slide down. The rope is too far away from you. What is happening right now?
So when I put my hands in my pockets, were very sure that they were going to come out quickly if I needed them. And so I just kind of yank my hands out of my pocket and, oh gosh, okay.
Yeah, you yanked your hands out of your pockets totally unconsciously to grab the side of the wall.
See, out of character, I want to see if I can like Mario jump up this wall, but that doesn't seem like the D&D thing to do.
Right, that would be really cool.
Like wall jump, like
back and forth. Yeah.
A hell of an acrobatics check.
Yeah, that's not my.
Or a series of 3.
Yeah, well, I'll let you make an acrobatics check right now.
No.
You got your hands out of your pockets.
Okay. Is the rope dangling on this side at all that I could like try to spin and grab it, or is it gone?
You're gonna have to make an acrobatics check to either grab the rope or hold on to the cliff face and attempt to ascend. You're currently sliding down the cliff face pretty fast.
Fun. I'm sure that my limbs are perfectly healthy. I got a 10 on that roll, so how far?
Okay, tumbling into this 35-foot chasm. Okay. You lose your grasp, you lose your footing. You did manage to slide a little ways down the cliff face before dropping. And so instead of 3d6 of damage, you're only going to take 1.
Oh.
So that's going to be 3 bludgeoning damage. You were just over 10 feet from the bottom when you went and
3.
lost your grasp. However, you can hear the sound of the bears roaring, and you can hear Leopold's angry voice, and you hear rising above it all the Clockwork Bear. The rules have been broken. A contestant has broken the rules. A hand was taken from the pocket, and now it is the cage. And Kian, you are collected by a pair of bears as you clamber your way out of this chasm. The king's guards, they come and get you, and you are taken, and you are placed in the cage.
All right. Yeah, okay. This is where Kian wanted to be all along, so I'm not complaining. To check on that girl.
This is all so interesting.
Taking notes of everything still.
Sketching the chasm, sketching the cliff wall.
I wish we could see into the cage better. It's so cool looking with the shadows of the bars across you guys as prisoners. So Kian, you're in there with Astara now. And as you arrive in the cage, I'm just gonna have you make a quick insight check.
Totally. 8.
All right. You're so freaked out by what's happening right now, and so like, or focused, you know, I mean, you're so involved in your own situation, that it's hard to tell what's going on with Astara. And Flame.
All right. Flame will back way up to get a running start. And then before he does, he puts one hand in his pocket, and then he takes out his shawm, which is like an oboe thing, and plays it one-handed, and then takes off running.
Nice.
With burst of speed.
Okay. That's not a spell though, right?
No, it's just feline agility.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right. You first roll a performance check.
Okay. Ooh, 9. Not good at playing that one-handed.
Let's see. The king, however, is drunk and he loves it. Oh, yeah, that's so good. And however, you blitz across that cliff, and just like a blur, you leave. I'm gonna let you make an athletics check with advantage. It's just
Ooh. Well, I also I do have Jack of all trades, so I do get to add a little bit to that, I think, but it was a 5.
Okay.
I really expected you to just crawl the wall, so I'm so sorry.
Yeah, with the 5, I'll say you land kind of here, grabbing the edge of the cliff wall. You do have an arm up on it, and you kind of have purchase here at the top of the wall, but down here where your feet are, it's so sheer that you're really having a hard time skittering and scratching your way up. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and make an acrobatics check to see if you can find the leverage and flip your way up.
Okay, acrobatics. This hopefully will be better. 19.
Okay, yeah, flipping your way up. You manage to get up onto the cliff. Leopold is applauding. He says, "That was better. Wasn't it better, Matilda?" And you see her, she's like, oh, indeed. Yeah, better. And as you all have arrived on the other side of the chasm, except for poor Kian, who's in the cage, I am going to send us on a proper but brief break. Hello, and welcome back to the Mythologue episode 7. Thank you all so much for joining us and sticking through patiently while we dealt with our technical issues. I first off want to thank, we just got a new subscriber to our YouTube channel, by the way, so that's fun. In the mire of all of this, I want to say thanks so much to our fans who are able to plow through some of the nonsense that we as new streamers just are going through, and you're going through it with us, and thank you so much for being here for it, for supporting our stream, for watching us every time we come on, and we're continuing to gather new fans and followers. So I assume that we must be doing at least a few things right. I'm having a good time. When we left off, our fearless party has made their way partway through the Bear King's obstacle course. However, things are pretty dicey right now. Kian has been caged. He failed at one of the obstacles, and he failed also in the course of breaking a rule. So he's in the cage with Astara hanging over the entertainment cookpot here in the bear lair. And at the moment, the Clockwork Bear, who is announcing the games here, has gestured for everyone's attention on the eel pits.
No. Dislike.
Eel pits.
That's like the combination of words that I most wanted to not hear.
Now turn your attention to the eel pit. Old says, "Oh, my favorite part. This is where my eels will be given their meal." And you all are tasked now with the next obstacle. For the next obstacle, the contestants will shimmy or in some other fashion descend that rope to the net above the eel pit and then make their way off onto the ground. Restriction will be no use of any item that you have with you, no helping each other, and no magic magic spell. Ah! Leopold says, I love it. I didn't even tell him to say that, but that is exactly what I want him to say. No magic spell, no helping each other, and no using your personal item. Only the rope and you. You and the rope and the eels. Of course, don't forget the eels. And we have arrived at Finnick's turn.
All right. Well, yes, you heard that thing. So I have to shimmy across this.
So the goal is to get down this rope, which is about 30 feet long.
It's like a slack line.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, you could walk down it, or you could hang from it, but you aren't allowed to drop straight to the ground because you have to get onto and then off of the eel pit net. So you have to get down the rope. This other rope is, this is in the foreground. This isn't connected. It's a different part.
Well, wish me luck. I am going to take my grappling hook and rope and attach it. I'm not using it. I'm just making sure I take it.
Okay, so you unattached it from the cave wall,
Yeah.
from the torch. Okay, cool.
No
Wait.
item.
It keeps like unfocusing and refocusing. It's kind of really annoying.
You can do it, Finnick. I know you can.
I'm glad somebody thinks so. All right. Yeah, Finnick's going to go ahead and just try to overhand. Like, I'm not going to try and walk the thing. So.
Okay. All right, Finnick. I'm going to have you go ahead and make a acrobatics check to make your way down the rope in this fashion, hanging from it, shimmying down 30 feet. You can see the electricity crackling up from this pit. You see sort of a bluish light emanating and these slithering, whip-fast little shiny shapes just writhing amongst each other and throughout this huge pit below you.
Finnick will definitely kind of like shudder. Like, okay. Yeah, it's 21.
For your acro check?
Yeah.
Okay. You make it onto this net, and as you do, I'm going to have you make a dexterity saving throw. It is extremely unstable and challenging.
$10.
Oh no, with your 10, you fall into the eel pit. I will let you make one more dexterity saving throw as you are falling down to see if there's anything you can grab, a rope, the side of the pit, anything at all.
Can see and hear what's going on from his cage.
Oh yeah, totally.
Natural 20.
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay. You all watch as Finnick lands, sticks that landing for a split second, and then a foot slides through, and he just plummets immediately at the very last second, reaching up and grabbing a hold of the rope. You can feel eels wrapping around your ankle, and you take 1 point of lightning damage as one of them shocks you dramatically. You realize if you had fallen into there, you would be hurting super bad. However, with that nat 20, I'm going to let you whip yourself up and out all the way.
Good job.
Buddy. Wow. That was intense.
He's gonna like wrap himself around like the nearest rope, really. Like, okay. Finnick is not comfortable with these things.
Yeah. All right. And Feely, you are next.
Okay. Would
Leopold looks over at this point. He says, I am disappointed. I hope that you fall in. He was supposed to.
Okay, so would I get the sense that, like, if I wanted to try and play anything up, would it be better to act like I was about to fail or act like I totally have it under control?
Make a quick insight check.
6.
Oh, you think it would be fun to just do whatever you want. You feel pretty silly. It doesn't seem like it makes any sense to play anything up for the Bear King.
Okay, so Feely is gonna very like hesitantly get on his belly or their belly and like lower themselves to the ground and try and like shimmy backwards to the rope. So that I can like hug around it with both arms and legs and just.
Okay. All right. You can hear the laughter of the Bear King as you like clamber your way ever so gracelessly onto the rope, hugging onto it. You kind of like start to fall a little bit and grab hold of it again. Go ahead and make yourself an acrobatics check and see how this goes.
10.
Okay, with that 10, you fall. And I'm going to let you make a dexterity saving throw. Once again, just like Finnick, to see if you can grab rope or the side of the pit or anything at all.
I got a 16.
Okay, with that 16, you do. You manage to grab a hold of the net before you fall all the way into the pit. You're now hanging onto the net. You can feel these eels lashing up on you. They haven't shocked you yet, but you can feel the slight wisps of touch as their bodies are wicking past your ankles. You can go ahead and make an acrobatics check or an athletics check to see if you can pop your way back up onto the net.
So I think the whole time you're hearing Feely like, and gets but I did get a 17 on the acrobatics.
Okay, you clamber your way loudly, vocally, all the way back up onto the net, and now you are on it. I will have you make once again another either athletics or acrobatics check to make your way off of the net and onto the actual cave floor.
Oh, y'all, I'm not religious, but 14.
Okay, barely hanging on. You clamber, yelping, groaning, grunting, and almost falling in again. You make your way and you finally, sweating and extremely, extremely shaken, up onto the side next to Finnick.
No, not just next to. Feely immediately launches themselves like across the shoulders of Finnick, just like, I don't want to do anything like that again. That was horrible.
This is the worst. This is the worst thing ever. They're electric snakes.
I really think there'd be easier ways to get out of here if I didn't want to get a star out of that cage.
Yeah, we should think of a way to do that. sooner than later.
I do kind of want to, can I take that chance, like a brief moment to look at the cage, see, does it have any obvious like way out, anything to exploit?
Hold that thought for your next turn. Since you made an insight check at the beginning, we'll go ahead and move forward to Epiphany now.
Okay. So I think that Epiphany would probably, how far down is the rope from the ground?
What do you mean exactly? Like how far between here to here?
Yes. Yeah.
This is about 30 feet.
Okay. Okay, so I think Epiphany is just going to walk her hands. She's gonna like shimmy across the rope with her hands, like, walk across the rope with her hands. I was thinking about slacklining it, but I'm not feeling froggy.
Kind of hanging body down like this.
Yes.
Okie dokie. Make yourself an acrobatics or athletics check to do that.
That is a 15.
Okay, you make it safely down, very steadily, nothing fancy. And as you land on the net, it takes you by surprise a little bit, and I'll have you make a dexterity saving throw.
That's an 18.
Okay, you hang on. It's not too hard. This is pretty easy. You've got one more step left. It's going to be either athletics or acrobatics to get off of the net.
That's a 16.
You do it.
Okay. She'll kind of like brush her hands off and brush the stuff off of her and kind of glance at the Bear King, a bit smug.
He kind of raises his chin at you. He says, I expect more fun from you. And now with that, it is going to be Kian's turn. Oh, Kian. Yeah. So Kian, it is your turn. What you doing?
Awesome. Okay. Kian. He's already in jail. Like, what are you gonna do to him now? He's gonna cast Speak with Animals.
Okay. Cool. You cast Speak with Animals.
Yeah. And then I'm just going to start yelling in Eelish, I guess. I imagine you're probably pretty hungry, but I'd really appreciate if you don't hurt my friends. I'll feed you handsomely if you leave them alone.
These shrieks emanate from your mouth. You don't even know what's going to happen, right? You cast Speak with Animals. Have you ever spoken eel before?
Nope.
You cast Speak with Animals. And you're like, okay, open your mouth to say this thing to the eels. It sounds like a combination of bloody murder and whale song that comes shrieking out of your mouth. Imagine the shrieking eels from Princess Bride, just like absolutely brain scorching, bone shattering shrieks coming out of you. I am going to have you first roll a persuasion check for the eels.
Okay. 8.
Okay, they don't seem to be listening, as far as you can tell. However, the Bear King and the rest of the bears are. You begin shrieking, and the room erupts in violent roars. All of a sudden, all of the bears seem incredibly angry. King Leopold shoots up out of his chair. He says, "Oh, stop the sound! It's terrible! Make it stop!" He does this immense roar, and suddenly this like almost like a shockwave emanates out of him. Everybody make a dexterity saving throw. No, I'm sorry. Everybody make a constitution saving throw.
That's better. 19.
A 19 for Wex. Feely got a what?
16.
Cool.
Epiphany,
Solid 4.
Epiphany got a 9.
Okay, Finnick.
The 4.
Wex.
I had the 19.
Oh yeah, that's right. Kian.
22.
Nice.
Damn, that con score though.
Sometimes.
Totally.
When I'm not licking stuff.
Oh, Epiphany and Finnick. You both look at the bear. You both look at the Bear King and realize that he has powers beyond anything that you've imagined. You are completely terrified. You now have the frightened condition. You also each take 2 points of psychic damage.
Bree, should I take that also? Because I got a 7.
Oh, yep. Sorry. Didn't catch that flame. My bad. Thanks.
How many points? I'm sorry.
2 points of damage. It's psychic damage. And the frightened condition basically means you cannot attack the Bear King. You cannot move toward the Bear King. You have to use all of your movement per turn to get as far from the Bear King as you can. And you can repeat your con save on your next turn.
Where am I in regards to everyone else that's made it across? Oh, I see.
Yeah. And you can choose if that's where you want to be or if you want to have gotten up on a different part.
No, that's fine. But Epiphany will probably make a really scared, like whimpery, and grab someone next to her. I can't really see who's next to me.
Well, so already what's interesting here is that already Feely jumped out and grabbed Finnick first right away. And then now you're scared. And so you probably would just grab onto Feely. So now everyone's kind of crunched up together in a giant scared clump. Wow, I really hooked those minis together. That's pretty cute. Big scared clump. And it is going to be Kian's turn. Oh yeah, Kian, nope, sorry. You have been shrieking. And the Bear King reacted, and now are you going to do anything else on your turn?
I certainly want to continue this dialogue, but in your action economy, I think I'm done.
Alrighty. That brings us to the turn of Wexlarn.
I'm definitely going to try to mimic Feely's style and just kind of like slide my way down into the other netting.
Okay, so you're going to try and like sort of
Like
clamber up.
Yeah.
Clamber up and like get on and hug the rope.
Yep.
Okay. You may make athletics or acrobatics for that.
14.
Okay. With that 14, you make it down. It's hard. You're frightened. You almost fall a couple of times, but you don't. You land on the net, however, and you have to immediately make a dexterity saving throw.
Nope. 6.
Okay. You fall. You fall directly through the net, and I will let you make one more dexterity saving throw to see if there's anything you can grab on the way down.
5.
Nope. Okay, you're in the eels. You land in a pool of rank-smelling, cold water. It tastes salty. It's just very, very cold, super stinky. The eels are whipping all around you as you land. I have to get the right one. As you land, you feel several of them brush against your body. And you're going to immediately take 2 points of lightning damage. And I will let you do one more thing on your turn to attempt to get out. What are you going to do?
Just swim to a side.
Okay, swimming to the side. You try to gain some sort of a handhold on the side of the pit. And I'm going to have you make we'll have you make an athletics check for swimming and trying to climb out.
11.
Okay, you do grab a hold of the side of the wall. You're not quite able to pull yourself clear entirely, but you're not sinking in the pit. And that is going to be your turn. You're hanging on the edge. Flame.
All right. Flame is just gonna walk up and attempt to tiptoe down it, like an acrobat, if you will.
Yep. Make an acrobatics check.
Ugh. 9.
All right. You make it up just almost halfway down, and you slip. You grasp for the rope. Make a dexterity saving throw.
All right. $10.
You miss it. Plummeting, you land in the eels. Casting about, you can feel them slashing around you. You feel them writhing around and twisting up with your tail. You take 1 point of lightning damage just right away. You can feel the electricity coursing through the liquid. You are completely drenched in disgusting water. I'll let you do one more thing to try to get out. What are you going to do? Or one more thing anyway. What are you going to do?
Just swim to the nearest side.
Okay. All right, make an athletics check for your swim and see if you can grasp onto the side.
17.
All right, you do. You manage to grasp onto the side, and grappling your way up, you begin to actually find purchase and manage to clamber your way onto the shore or the edge of the pit. Wex, however, is still stuck down below. At this moment, Leopold says, "He should be out of time. Hey, Bear, you should be out of time. You see that the clockwork bear spins around on its middle axis and goes, the king has spoken. You are out of time and you will have to start over. Oh, that's perfect. Except boring. Just put him in the cage. Wex, as you are clambering on the side, two bears come over to retrieve you. They lift you up by your arms, unless you do anything about that, and they take you to the cage.
I'm the size of one of their arms. What the fuck am I gonna do?
Right? And each time someone new is put into the cage, Kian and Astara are, they're swung across. The cage gets swung across the room and up onto the cliff so that new people can be put inside of it, and then it gets swung back over. So it's really quite a dizzying situation. Wex, as you get in, make an insight check.
I'm extremely excited about this part, for the record.
I don't know.
That's gonna be an 18.
Okay. You look at Ostara and you realize that she, although she is putting on a super brave face, is utterly and completely terrified. You could see tears welling up and she's blinking them back. You can see tear streaks. You see her like shaking and panting and like she's trying so hard to keep it together, but she's literally white knuckling.
It's okay, Astara. I just went for a little swim. It was nice. It was kind of refreshing.
Wex, you guys aren't getting through.
No. This actually works out quite well.
And I'll like start speaking very, very softly at this point, and I'll kind of like motion Kian in as well and say, like, they put the wrong person in this cage. And I'll pull out my thieves' tools and show them. It shouldn't take long.
All right, roll sleight of hand to make sure no one sees you do this.
Yeah, and let me know if I can help you at all.
17.
Nice.
All right. So yeah, as far as you can tell, no one has seen you. And let's see, we've got Keen in the cage and we've got Wex in the cage. And at this point, King Leopold says, you all have dwindled in your numbers, have you not? You know this means, according to the rules, I get to eat you all. However, you have been so entertaining that I may be persuaded to only just keep the little girl. Send you on your way, or maybe if you do me some kind of favor, I'll still let you use my portal. I don't know. You all are very fun to watch. You're terrible at this. I love that. It's the best. So, on with the show. And he holds up his stein, and the clockwork bear turns and says, the next obstacle is more complex. You will ascend to the top of the tiled pathway, and you must make your way across the pathway. The only restrictions are touch every tile except for the bad ones. And then upon your return to the rope, use the rope to return to the key. So looking at this, from when you were previously up on the cliff, you had seen these tiles on this weird curved pathway. Yeah, that's pretty good. Great. And you had seen that they are colored red, blue, and green in that order in sets of 3. There is kind of a stair-stepped cliff face to get up to the top between where you are now down here and this spot where you would need to start. So the rules are to touch every tile except for the bad ones, whatever that means. And we'll begin with Finnick's turn. Finnick, you're gonna start by making your way from the bottom to the top. This is not a sheer face. You can't see it from where you are, but it's very, it's kind of stair-stepped there. It doesn't take a whole lot, but I will have you make a dexterity check or a strength check. I'll let everyone make their choice between a dexterity or a strength check just to get up to the top.
And am I still frightened?
Oh yeah, you have to repeat your con save.
Okay, so I'll do con first. 8.
Oh gosh, yeah, sorry. You're utterly terrified. You could barely hear the instructions that were given. Your knees are shaking, your palms are sweaty, your throat is closing. Every time you look at the Bear King or hear his voice, you want to cry. You actually have to get as far away from him as you possibly can with all of your movement. Your choices would be to duck back in here and try to hide back here, or to try to get out of the cave completely. That's just about where your headset is at.
Well, Finnick, yeah, he would be panicking and like, we're out of our league. We shouldn't have come here. I don't know if we're going to be able to save Lady Astara at all. And just out of fear and not wanting to see the Bear King, because isn't frightened associated with seeing them? It's like line of sight. He'll take his goggles off. He's blind.
What do his eyes look like?
They're just clouded over. There's still a tiny bit of this sort of hazel coloration left in the, like I would say the left eye, but otherwise they're just milky, clouded over. So he would just take his goggles off so that he can't see it.
All right. Removing your goggles.
As a quick question, and this is like a little metagamey, but usually the frightened condition just means you can't willingly get closer to the source of your fear, not that you have to move away from them.
This one's a little extra. Thank you for checking in with that. And yeah, this one just is a little bit extra, and I should have specified that it was the frightened condition plus. But yeah, okay, so you rip your goggles off and you crush yourself into the, are you gonna attempt to run across the cave like that, or are you just gonna back away into that little crevice?
Well, if I can't see him, do I have to move away from him?
You still do. You still, I mean, kind of stumblingly, whatever, but not being able to see him, I will probably I can let you roll your next save against this to try to escape it with advantage.
Okay. And I do have blind fighting. That was my ranger fighting style. So anything within 10 feet I can still see, even if it's, as long as it's not behind an entire cover, I can see it.
Okay.
So Finnick's just scared, takes his goggles off and is trying to navigate. I guess.
All right.
Yeah. He's not going to try and run out of the cave. He would still be concerned about Astara and his friends. So, but he is going to do whatever he has to, I guess.
Okay, so pressing your way back into this crevice, you find that it kind of goes deeper back in here than you would have expected, and you managed to find your way back into a pretty deep area, crack back in the cave there. And that's just going to be your turn. You're tucked away, you failed your save. Feely, it's going to be your turn.
So I'll try and make my way to the top just before the tiles begin. With a 9 dexterity.
Okay. Trying to push your way up, you don't quite make it all the way to the top. Holding on there, feeling really awkward. You're going to have to do something. You're going to have to make maybe an athletics or acrobatics check to pull yourself up, or do something else. There wasn't a restriction placed on magic or use of items in this particular obstacle. That's not to say that you necessarily know whether you're allowed things from previous rounds, but it kind of seems like it.
Yeah, Feely's working off the assumption that they can, because we helped each other in the second round and then got explicitly told we couldn't in the third. So that's where Feely's mind is at. I'm just gonna try and maneuver my way up the rest of the way with a 21 acrobatics.
You do it.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Barely an edge to stand on before the first tile. And you realize that there's not going to be room for anyone else to get up there until you advance further down. So, what are you going to do?
So first would call down to Epiphany and say, hang on a moment, let me test a couple things out. And is then going to draw that shimmering white glyph in front of themselves, plunge their hand through it and cast Mage Hand, which they're going to use to touch as many tiles as you will let me.
Okay.
I'm not touching them.
Right? You put your Mage Hand out there. And are you just going to start with the first tile that's in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Mage Hand touches that first tile. Nothing happens. Moves on to the second tile, and describe is Mage Hand an embodied or a disembodied force?
Disembodied.
Disembodied, yeah.
It doesn't have a physical presence.
It
Does it?
It doesn't. I mean, obviously it can manipulate the physical things around it up to 10 pounds.
What is its strength?
It doesn't really specify a strength. It says that it can't attack, activate magical items, or carry more than 10 pounds.
All right, cool. Then we'll go ahead and at that, as it touches the second one, you see it is just blown off. Like a gust of wind, just doosh, and it is blown immediately, like away and off, like that way.
Okay. Epiphany, if I shout down, well, don't touch tile 2. And I think Feely is gonna try and go forward, like one at a time. If anything that they've touched doesn't get fucked up, like doesn't blow it away, is gonna step on that one and then try and pass over the ones that do that.
Okay, so you step onto tile 1. You know not to hit tile 2.
Mhm.
And so how are you going to get to tile 3? Or what are you doing next?
How big are each of these tiles?
It's about 5 feet.
5 feet. I mean,
Yeah, it's about 5 feet from here to here. Like each tile's space is about 5 feet.
yeah, I think. Sorry, pulling up a.
You should be able to standing broad jump 5 feet.
That's what I thought. I thought you could do your
It's half your strength
half
score.
your strength. Yeah. So I'm essentially just gonna hop that.
Okay. So you jump across, and that's going to be the end of your turn.
Okay.
Epiphany.
Okay. So I'm just going to attempt to ascend the tile pathway.
All right. That's a dex or a strength.
That is a 21.
All right. So you easily slip your way up to the top and are able to stand. Whoopsie, you're not in the eel pit, I promise. And you're able to stand on the edge. Do you step on the first tile right away?
Yeah, because Feely told me I could.
Okay, so standing on the first tile, is there anything else you're gonna do?
No, I guess not.
All right, Flame.
All right. I'll try to scale up there. Of course, he can't really stand up there with.
You can't. There's enough edge before the first tile for one person to barely stand.
Oh, you know what? I have to do a con save anyway, though.
Oh, I didn't do my con save.
Oh man. Oh, thanks you guys. Wow, I really blew it there. Do your con save.
Seven.
Epiphany.
Mine's an 11.
Okay. Well, that's too bad. Neither one of you passed. And you have to either run back into the crevice where Finnick went, or run out of the cave, or try to run out of the cave.
Flame will run back with Finnick.
Okay.
Is this something that I could do Hellish Rebuke against?
No. Oh, well, you could have done it immediately when you took damage. Although I don't think so. I think it's when you take damage from a melee. No.
Yeah. Okay.
You do it as a reaction when you take damage.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Are we still in the combat order or like initiative order that we rolled earlier, or are we in a modified initiative order?
We're still in the order that we rolled earlier. I just skipped by mistake. So, but we're still back at Epiphany's con save. So, Epiphany, are you hiding in the crevice, or are you trying to run out of the cave?
I'll probably just go back to the crevice.
Okay. All right. So you tuck back in there also, and the three of you realize that this is actually like a really super kick-ass hiding spot. And it just feels pretty damn secure back in there. And Kian, it's your turn. Sorry, thank you. What are you doing?
I think I'd let Wex go first, just kind of tell me what he's thinking, and then try to help with that.
Okay, do you want to change your position in initiative order permanently?
Sure.
Okay, you can go after Wex now. Wex.
Things kind of changed. I was hoping, it seemed like maybe the king was gonna invite them over towards the table, and then it would have made sense for us to try to make a run for it right then. But now, half of them are hiding in the corner. And Feely's just kind of standing up there. It seems like a bad time for us to make a move.
Got faith in all of them if you want to just wait a moment, but if you have any way to give us an advantage when the time does come, let me know.
Well, I mean, I could pick the lock now. And we could just hold the door closed.
I'm willing to help you hold it closed if you want to try to pick the lock, or I can create a distraction again or something. I'm still able to do the eel scream thing, but just let me know what you.
What I had in my mind was actually like when they load up the cage, they swing it right by the portal. So if they want to get one of us out or put someone else in, we'll be right there. We just have to wait for a moment when enough of us are there. Like if everybody's near the portal, we can maybe just make a break for it.
The other thing to consider is they're certainly not going to just lower this whole cage into anything fatal, because the bear's really counting on keeping Astara. So I think that we've got a couple options before it's the end of days for us.
Okay, I think you guys have done about both of your turn worth of conversation. And so we'll go ahead and let Wex do an action now if you want.
I'll go ahead and try to pick that lock.
Alrighty.
With proficiency. What is that? 16.
All right. It feels like it's just about to go, and it doesn't quite go. And that will end your turn. Kian, you can do an action and or bonus action, but y'all have completed your conversation for the round.
No. Pass. There's nothing.
Okay. All right. Flame, repeat your con. Oh, you already did that. We've already done Flame's turn. We are back to Finnick. Finnick, repeat your con save.
15.
All right, that does the job. All right. Looking around you, you realize that this crevice is really cool. It's actually a really great hiding spot. And give a quick perception or investigation check for me.
16 perception.
Okay, looking around, you actually notice a little pile of stuff in the corner. Poking at it with a toe, you realize that it's the desiccated body of some nobleman of some kind or something. Looks like really nice clothes that most of which have been, torn up and co-opted into bear clothes, but the ones that were too small have been left on him. And also a pouch of gold. So you retrieve a pouch off of this dead body containing 27 gold pieces.
Yeah, Finnick will say to the others just so they can see it. And I think this is where they're getting all the fancy clothes from. I'm not sure a lot of people leave through that portal. And with that, I can move now freely.
Yes, you are good, and you are welcome to attempt to ascend the crag.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just follow behind Feely after hearing them. I assume I did hear them say what was safe and what wasn't.
Yes. You at least heard, everyone has heard Feely say, don't step on tile 2. So, Finnick, you can make a strength or dexterity check, your choice.
Definitely does. 8.
All right. Making your way up the rock slightly, you actually take a bit of a tumble and you fall back. You don't get hurt except for possibly your pride, but you weren't able to get it on this try, and that's going to be your turn. Unless you've got anything to say or a bonus action you'd like to perform.
No, he will throw his goggles back on now though.
Okay, that's a bonus action. And Feely.
I want to continue trying to press with the mage hand the next few tiles.
Okay, so you're standing on tile 3. Retrieve your mage hand, which has been blown off of tile 2, and you set it to touching tiles. It begins with the one directly in front of you, tile 4, nothing happens. The next tile, that next blue tile there, and again, nothing happens. However, upon touching the green tile that is next, the tile basically just opens up, like as if a little wormhole or something, and the tile itself just disappears as a hole opens up in its place. Your mage hand obviously just sort of hovers above it. It doesn't fall or anything, but that's opened as a hole now. Also, just being aware, tile 2 now does have a periodically a gust of wind bursting. So when you crossed it, it didn't, but it has a burst of wind that blows across it now and then.
Okay. What color was tile 2?
Tile 2 was blue.
Blue.
You're standing on a green tile. The next tile that's red and the next blue tile after that didn't do anything. And then this next green tile opened up and became a hole. And then as you're watching, it shuts again. And then opens again. And you've got just a little bit more time. Are you going to use any movement?
Yeah, I'll step to the next 2 tiles that I know are safe, or that I think are safe.
Okay. You step on them. Nothing happens when you walk on them either. The tile in front of you is periodically opening and closing as a whole. And that's going to be the end of your turn.
Okay.
Unless you want to say anything.
Yeah, so is this tile 6 that's opening and closing?
believe so, yeah.
So Phila would shout back, tile 2, tile 6 have timed effects.
All right. Epiphany and Flame, I'm going to have you two make a quick wisdom check to see if you're able to process the information Feely just shouted down to you when you're so scared. Flame, what'd you get for your wisdom check?
6.
Okay, so you don't catch that. Epiphany, wisdom check.
Hang on 1 second. I have to consult my player card here, which is being a problem momentarily.
Sorry.
That's a 21 on a nat 20.
Ooh,
Nice.
nat 20. So with the nat 20, I will say that not only do you hear that 2 and 6 are bad and have some sort of timed effect on them, but your brain begins to work out wondering if there's some sort of pattern between the 3 colors that you could see on the tiles from the cliff across the cave when you were up there. 3 colors, tile 2 and tile 6. It's kind of jumbling around in your mind a little bit that there's some kind of a pattern here. You just don't know exactly what it is, but they're in sets of 3. And in the first set of 3, the second tile was bad. And in the second set of 3, the third tile was bad. And that's what I'll give you with your nat 20. Good job. And let's see, that was Feely's turn. And so Epiphany, it is your turn now. And I'll also extend that nat 20 to let you roll your con save with advantage this time. You be pulling your shit together.
Okay. That is a 15.
Okay, that does the job. You come to your senses a little bit. You look around. You see the pile of stuff that Finnick has just pulled some gold off of. And you notice that actually remaining on the fingers are some rings also. That obviously were too small for bears. Is that something that you're interested in grabbing when you see it?
Yeah, I'll snap those up.
Okay, you get 3 silver rings. Each one has an unidentified gemstone in it, and 1 gold ring with a small ruby chip.
Okay.
And you may make an attempt to scale the crag.
Okay.
That's going to be just a strength or dexterity. It's not too bad.
That's a 14.
Okay. 14 does it. Are you going to get on that first tile?
Yeah, I will hop onto the first tile, and also I'm going to just pull out my quarterstaff.
Okay, and that will end your turn. Wex.
I'll make another attempt with the lockpick.
All right. Roll with your Steve's tools.
Nope.
What do we got?
It didn't work. It was an 11. Same thing.
Okay, jamming away at it. You're struggling. It's not working. It's not working. You look and you realize that, like, this is going to take you a little bit more time than you thought. This lock is big, it's heavy, it's rusty, and it's made to be strong and to withstand this kind of work. So as hard as you're trying, it's not fully working yet. And at this point, my friends, it is 8 o'clock. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to stop us here. When we return next week, it's going to be Kian's turn inside the cage, and we will continue on this rotation and attempting to solve this puzzle. I love you all. Thank you for making it through the hiccups and the tech errors and the user errors and all the stuff to come and do this fun thing together. I really appreciate it. Everybody follow our social media. Nikki works really hard on our Twitter and Instagram at the Mythologue DND. And yeah, it's definitely fun stuff, especially the Twitter is full of like interesting questions and retweets of really cool other D&D content, great resources and fun stuff to check out. So please do follow us on Twitter and Instagram, support our Patreon if you're interested, and definitely join us 2 weeks from now on Monday. We will see you then. Thank you, my friends.